Greetings, everybody. This is Jim Wickens from nfldraftfanatics.com. And this video and podcast will be a brief demonstration of FANATIC mode, which is a special mock draft technique to make sure mock drafts are unique. So this video is specific to the Tennessee Titans. And as part of the video, I also want to demonstrate how the simulator algorithm works. It is different than other mock draft sites. So understanding a couple of things about the algorithm will help understand FANATIC mode. So if you go to team needs up at the top, you will see every team's needs, obviously, and then there's also a player list by every team. So at nfldraftfanatics.com, here's the team needs. There's the player list. So if I click the player list, every team has a player list. There's 32 teams. There are 32 different player lists. This is the player list for the Tennessee Titans. Now, if you notice, there's some interesting players at the top of their player list. These are the players that get mock drafted to the Titans the most, right? So McKinstry, Latham, Arnold are sitting right there at the top. Marvin Harrison Jr. is fourth, and then you see like Clark Barrington pretty high up, Nate Wiggins, Malik Neighbors. Now you're asking, okay, well, how could those three players be ranked higher than Marvin Harrison Jr.? It's a combination of at least two factors. One, is Marvin Harrison Jr. ever fall into where the Titans pick? Probably not. So if Titans fans can't pick him, he can't stay at the top. The second thing is when you pick players, they move up. It's just fundamental to the algorithm on the site. So when you pick a player, they move up, and you're going to see me demonstrate that as we go through FANATIC mode. Okay, so let's go back and talk about FANATIC mode. We're going to do a 4-round mock for the Titans. And FANATIC mode is this button right here. So I'm going to flip that on, and I'm going to set it to 5. FANATIC mode says, I want to do a unique mock draft. That's what the button means. A fanatic is somebody that wants a unique mock draft every time that they mock. How many times am I going to mock? 5. You're going to see me do 5 4-round mocks for the Titans. Okay, I set the round count to 4 up here. I've selected Tennessee, turned on FANATIC mode, set it to 5. Now we're going to start. FANATIC mode is a unique mock draft. So every mock I do for 5 straight mocks is going to be unique. Okay, so here is the board the first time. So looking at what happened, Harrison, OU, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, most of that looks moderately okay. And I'm going to say Kool-Aid, actually, let's do Nate Wiggins. So I'm going to pick Nate Wiggins, who is 7th. Okay, and now it's going to go through and it goes to the round 2 board. So the Titans also need an offensive tackle. I like Jordan Morgan, who's currently 56th on their player board. I'm going to point out where people are on the player board because when we're done with all 5 mocks, we're going to go look at the player board again and see how I changed it. Okay, so now we're in round 3. And it looks like the Titans don't have a 3rd round pick. So let's see if they have a 4th round pick. Okay, so here's the Titans' 4th round pick. A bunch of wide receivers are sitting at the top of the 4th round. Let's verify what wide receivers are there. If Thrash is there in round 4, that would be my recommendation. So that was who I picked. I didn't catch what number he was, what rank he was on their board. Okay, so now we have done 1 mock. I picked Wiggins last time. So what the simulator does is it makes sure Wiggins is off the board by the time the Titans pick next. Okay, so we still see Kool-Aid McKinstry, still see Tyrion Arnold. Okay, I am going to say pick Fuaga. Okay, so I'm going to say Fuaga. And notice I'm not going to pick Clark Barrington. He's currently ranked 7th. So some of this is intentional. And we'll see where Clark Barrington is at the conclusion of my demonstration. Okay, so they need a linebacker, and Bethune is there. That's a good pick in round 2. So now it's going to go through all around 3 and then get to the Titans pick at round 4. Every single time I pick somebody, they move up the board. If I skip somebody that was ranked higher, in this case, I've skipped Barrington 4 times, twice in round 1, twice in round 2, the player will fall in value. Okay, I'm going to skip him again in round 3, and he'll fall in value more. I like Jermaine Burton and Ananias Smith both. And is this the 3rd round? This is the 4th round. Burton or Ananias Smith in round 4, I really like. So every single time you skip somebody, their value will decrease. Their value decreases more in round 1 than it will in rounds 2 and 3. It's easier to move somebody up in round 1. It's easier to get somebody to drop on the board in round 1. Okay, so another player I like to the Titans would be, let's look at the linebacker board. Jeremiah Trotter is currently 35th on the Titans board. I'm picking him in round 1. He will move from 35 into the top 10 as a result of that pick. So the player boards are going to move. Do they need a corner? Kalen King in round 2. And Nia Smith round 4. I'm definitely liking right now. I'm enjoying the round 4 wide receiver pool. Easy to find value. It's such a deep wide receiver class. Easy to find value at wide receiver in nearly any round. So notice Barrington, which started at 7, has already been dropping to 10. So we're now in the 4th iteration of 5 unique mock drafts. So I'm looking at their positions of need. Safety. Okay. I'm going to pick Cooper DeJean in round 1. Keon Coleman in round 2. So Coleman fell out of round 1. So one of the things that this algorithm and simulator will help you see is sometimes players get ranked really high. So let's say Keon Coleman is a great example. If you would have talked to people over the summer, Keon Coleman was going to be like, let's say, one of the 5 best wide receivers in the class. Now he's dropping to be like the 7th or 8th wide receiver on a lot of teams' boards or a lot of analyst boards. You can begin to see, well, he's no longer a first-round grade. He's going to go early 2nd. And this can prove that. Last season, we saw that with Osiris Torrance. At this point of the year last year, most boards had Torrance being a round 1 pick, and he fell to a mid-round 2 pick. Okay, so at this point, what other position of need? Let's look at edge. Colin Oliver, I like in round 4. So when you're in Fanatic mode, it's going to remove players. Anybody you've picked in a mock won't be available on the board. So the board will have fewer players on it, and it will make it more challenging for the drafter. So at this point, we're doing the 5th of 5 unique mock drafts. And you can see Barrington, which started at 7, and we've skipped him every time, has now fallen to 11. Okay. So if you would take Troy Franklin at wide receiver, I am going to pick him. He's currently 23rd on the big board. Okay. 23rd on the Titans player board. So by me picking him, he's going to be higher than 23 when this is done. And I'm trying to be unique so that you can see the movement of the player board. I really liked Kool-Aid McKinstry at the top, but that didn't give a good demonstration of the boards moving. So, for example, I like Mondin in round 2. He was ranked 42 at the time that I picked him. Yeah, it's going to lines. The Titans don't have a round 3 pick, so we have one more pick to make in round 4, and then this demonstration will conclude, and we will look at the Titans player board as soon as the mock finishes. I like Singer in round 4. Sorry about that. I was closing some tabs. Didn't mean to change the screen view. Okay. So here was the Titans mock that I did. Each of those is unique. We'll go through that list in detail in a minute. I'm going to go to team needs and open it, and let's display it over here. And we're going to look to see where all those players ended up. So we go and we find the Titans. We pick their player list. And we're going to look at specifically anybody I grabbed in round 1. So if you look, Wiggins is currently 2nd on their draft card. I think at the time I picked him, he was like 9 or 11 overall. Fuaga. He's currently 3rd in their draft card. Again, he was like 10 or 11, I think, at the time I picked him. Bethune, I picked in round 2. He's currently 16th on the draft card. So he moved probably from like 20 to 16, somewhere in there. Trotter. He's currently 4th on the Titans draft card. DeJean. 7th. Coleman moved up to 17th. Troy Franklin is 6th. Mondin is 19th. Okay. So as I picked players, they moved up the board. So the Titans' new board, if you look, like, because I ignored Kool-Aid McKinstry, he actually got knocked down to number 9. Okay, because I was ignoring him. I mean, I was also ignoring that center who fell. Let's see how far. So Barrington fell to 13th because I kept ignoring him. So he was like 7th before, and he fell to 13th. So if you see something where, okay, there's a player you don't think is reasonable, if you do something like FANATIC mode, and let's say we set it to 8, and I might do 8 unique mocks that are 4 rounds, I'm always going to pick somebody that's under Barrington to move one player up and Barrington down. And that will eventually at least push the player down so he is not simulated to the Titans until about round 3 or 4. Okay. There's other ways that you can manipulate that, but the boards at nfldraftfanatics.com are based upon the opinions of fans. Okay. So if in the opinion of a fan, they wanted Barrington high, they got their opinion. The next person that comes in and does a mock draft, they can disrupt that. They can disrupt the opinion. The most recent opinion wins. It's fundamental to what NFL Draft Fanatics believes. We want the opinions of fans to be what influences which players get mock drafted to a team. The fans have control of the player boards. It's not about loading a big board to a site and everybody using it. It's about the fans of every team using the simulator, and you are picking against the selections of other fans when you use nfldraftfanatics.com. You can find me on Twitter at nfldraftfanatic. If you do a mock draft and tag me in it, I would be happy to comment or reply. There is no I in Fanatic on my Twitter, so that's at nfldraftfanatic, no I. No I in Fanatic. If you have questions on the draft, we do create other podcast content. For example, we have content on wide receivers in the top 100, offensive linemen in the top 100, and we've done those top 100 shows for every position group. So check the YouTube channel out, like and subscribe. There will be more position-specific podcast content coming after the first of the year. I hope everybody is warm, healthy, and safe. I wish you a great evening. Thank you very much for taking 20 minutes of your time to watch this tutorial. And if you have any questions, please find us on Twitter at NFL Draft Fanatics. Thank you.